So thanks everybody for joining. You should probably see a poll up on your screen right now. So if you want to take a minute to fill that out and we'll get started soon. It looks like the number of folks trickling in has slowed down a little bit. We'll give it maybe a couple more seconds and then we'll get started. Okay. Okay. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Nikki Landrio, Skills Director at FineSkills, and alongside me are Kelsey, Enterprise Sales Executive from Filevine, and Kendall, one of our very own FineSkills Optimizers.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
At FineSkills, we are very excited about AI's potential, especially in how Filevine is pioneering its integration for all clients. So today, we're going to focus on Filevine AI, and we're thrilled about the possibilities it holds. We believe that adopting a mindset of continuous growth fueled by AI can propel firms to outperform their competitors. AI is not just a tool, it's an asset that allows firms to achieve more with less. And our goal today is to guide you on practical ways to leverage Filevine AI effectively. We'll demonstrate how to handle larger caseloads through Products AI and make the most of this powerful AI tool. Starting early in mastering this technology is key to staying ahead in the competitive landscape and avoiding the need to catch up later on. So join us as we explore how to make technology work for you and learn how Filevine AI can be a game changer for your firm. Kelsey?
Yes, thanks so much, Nikki. Hi to everyone who's joined. I'm so excited to be speaking with all of you today and sharing some information and a quick demo about AI and how Filevine's using AI. We'll start with why use AI? Why should you do this? First of all, as you all know, legal is document heavy. It just takes time, sometimes several hours, to review documents, to extract information, and then to use that information in your work product. And humans are just that. We're humans. AI doesn't get tired. It is fast, it's accurate, and it just won't be outpaced. So I think the main reason to use AI is to make more money and to be more efficient, to do more with less, and to let your staff focus on kind of more money-making activities. It's also becoming super clear that firms that don't use AI are going to start to fall behind. So, I want everyone to think back of when this conversation happened of servers versus clouds, or even before that, computers versus paper files. The organizations that started using new technology were able to get ahead much faster. And if people are using paper files today, they're just kind of behind the curve. And it's going to take a lot more for them to get where they need to be in terms of technology. There are other law firms, there are even insurance companies or competitors that are using AI today that's allowing them to do more work quicker and more accurately than ever before. So we're going to show you guys how you can use it to really enhance your workload. So before I do that, I'm going to go through a few frequently asked questions, a few things that people are curious about. And then we'll kind of get into the demo here. But the first thing is, can we trust AI? I hear this all the time. And the answer is yes, you can trust AI. It does have to be the right kind of AI. Okay, if you're using just ChatGPT, the free version, you may end up citing a fake case and losing your license. It's a very high temperature AI. And what this means is that it's actually whatever AI you're using, if it's a high temperature AI, it's going and searching the internet and it's going to use unreliable sources as facts. Maybe it has the tendency to hallucinate. What we're looking at here with today's AI that we'll be demoing is more of a closed model that is not just searching the internet, or not even searching every law firm we work with, or not even searching the whole entire firm's database. It's looking at one specific document or set of documents to give you what you want. So I think that's the first thing that you have to consider. And then the second thing is the training of the AI. A lot of conversation is had around training and language models and things like that. But actually the prompting is what is really important and will give you the most accurate output. Not just, hey, AI, every time you look at these types of documents, generally look for these things, but a very specific prompt that is, hey, I want you to look at this document for all of these things, and to be very, very specific. And Filevine has prompt engineers that this is their full-time job to really get very accurate and to understand exactly where the AI is coming from, okay, or where the source is coming from. Another question, is AI going to replace us, or is it going to replace my employees? And I really like what our CEO, Ryan Anderson, says, as think of AI as a backup camera, right? It's not going to be as good as human eyes. It's not going to replace human eyes, but it is going to help avoid some accidents. And in fact, since 2018, it's actually a requirement to have backup cameras on all your vehicles. So I think that really speaks to what's happening with AI. If we have technology at our fingertips that's allowing us to serve our clients better and to not take any unnecessary risk or be needlessly risky, that is, it's something that I think eventually everybody is going to adapt. Now, it is also going to allow my team to do more. If I have a paralegal spending 10 hours reviewing documents and they can do that now in 30 minutes, that doesn't mean I'm going to get rid of all my paralegals. That means I'm going to be able to review a lot more documents. So that is kind of the spiel on why AI and some of the FAQs. Today we'll be showing a few different products. We'll be showing SidebarAI, which is a way to summarize or analyze the activity items on a matter that you're working on. We'll also be talking about AI document review, which is a one-off doc review where you can kind of prompt the AI to extract information out of documents that you'd like on a one-off basis. We'll also be showing AIFields, which is a more programmatic or automatic way to review these documents based on prompts that we've built. And then demands. How do we finish the loop here? How do we put this into our work product? And we'll be talking about how you can kind of do that on your own at your firm using FVDA, or you can use a partner like VineSkills to actually close this loop for you. So those will be kind of the key topics that we'll be showing and that we'll be demoing. And I will actually take over the screen share and show this. All right, this should look familiar to everyone who's on the call. I'm looking at a case right now, or what could resemble a case. I have my activity feed here. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is sidebar. I can actually start right here inside the case and summarize everything that's happened inside of this matter. I actually already have a few pulled up. It's very quick. This one was 6 seconds ago. I pulled one up right before this. And actually, let's just go to the one we ran just now. I'll show you guys how quick it is. It's actually going to go through everything that's happened in the last 30 days. And it's going to give me a summary with links back to where this source is coming from. Actually, this is taking a little bit of time. So let's just open up one of these other ones here. This is what it'll look like. Typically, it's super quick. And it will tell me, you know, hey, this is a detail about this case. This is the most recent update. And then it will link back again to exactly where this information is. Okay, saying, hey, this is the task that happened that is being referenced here. which again gives us kind of some consistency or reliability. We know we can trust this AI or where this data is coming from. I also can prompt this AI to do what I need to on a one-off basis, saying, hey, I want to summarize this activity, everything that's happened in the last 7 days, and I really want to focus on all the tasks that have happened. Okay, and I can get very specific here. Or again, I can just choose to summarize, write a summary, and have everything pull up, which is great if I'm talking to a client and I just need to know quickly, the last 30 days of everything that's happened in their case. So that is SidebarAI. The next thing I'm going to cover is the doc review. And again, this is a one-off place to kind of prompt the AI to do what you need it to do. So I'm going to pop into a document here. I have one in my depositions folder. And this is a transcript. I'm going to look through it. It should look pretty common to everybody on the phone or pretty standard. You've all seen things like this. This one's 76 pages. And I'm just going to one-off prompt the AI to give me what I need. So in Filevine, every time you see the purple sparkles, that means it's AI. I'm going to go ahead and click on it and kind of prompt this to do what I need it to do. Now it's going to be very guided. Okay. I can't just say, hey, I want you to just do whatever. I'm saying very specifically, this is a deposition and I want you to identify any inconsistencies in this deposition. I want you to give me this output in a Word document and I want it to live in this folder or subfolder. So there's a lot of guardrails. There's some control that you have as a firm, but we can submit this for review. And then you can actually close it, continue to work, do whatever you need to do as it's actually reviewing this document. I've already actually had it run before this call and have it pull up. I'll keep this going so you guys can see how quick it is. And I'll actually open up this bigger as well so that we can actually see this document. But there's a few things that I'm going to point out. First of all, there's a hot link back into the document that's being kind of described here. The inconsistencies are being pulled from this deposition. And so it's linking me back to this deposition to give me some consistency and to know exactly where I'm getting this data from. Also, it's giving me page numbers and line numbers to identify where this information is coming from. And that way I'm not going and searching for it and like, hey, this is a great output, but I actually don't know where to find this. Now I have to go command search, do all these things. It actually is just going to give me an output. And that way I can reference back very quickly exactly what I need to. Now, this is a one-off doc review that happens, anytime I have a single standard document that I'd like to review. But I don't have time to do that every time on every case, on every document. So Filevine does have a more programmatic way to do this. And I'll just pop into our tab here that we have set up for this to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So
as you move over here, how much time would you say on average people have gotten back to you and said they've saved using this feature? Because this is such a huge time saver in terms of reducing that paralegal's time, going through, doing that line by line review and just really coming back in to verify that this information was accurate.
That is a great question. I'm so glad you asked. Just to review these documents and pull out information, we're hearing anywhere between 4 hours on the short end, 10 hours on the long end. There's the complexity of the document, how long it is, but it's saving hours of work.
That's really significant.
Yep. That's a great question. And that's even just with the standard kind of standalone doc review. The more programmatic way as well is going to give us a lot more with a lot less. So it can even save more time. And then as we talk about kind of closing the loop too, we'll talk about more time savings on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a police report here. We've uploaded it, and that's all I had to do. I don't have to go in and prompt it or do anything like that. And it's actually just giving me an output. So in this police report section, the AI or Filevine knows exactly what I want to have happen here. So I'm getting a summary, key issues, involved parties. And if this was a different type of document, it might give me something completely different. Right? So I have an example here of medical records. And everybody on the call probably knows these can be extensive, they can be blurry, they can have small writing, they can have handwriting. This can be a pretty challenging document to get through. This one, we're lucky, is only 23 pages. I'm sure everybody's seen ones that are much longer and cumbersome than this. But, we uploaded a medical record. And then from that, we were able to get a MedCron, injuries, treatments, and meds, ICD-10 codes, CPT codes that have just been pulled out and kind of put into the system for us. It looks like we have a question. Kendall is watching the chat here and helping answer some of these questions. So we'll get that answered for you.
So just a quick note on what you're showing here. This is really great because as a team, you can strategize and figure out what are the most important things that your team needs to know every time that medical records are uploaded, so that these fields will run automatically and this information is just there for the team to access as soon as those documents get uploaded to the project section.
Yep, that's exactly right. You all know kind of what data points you need and what you're trying to get out of these documents. Filevine knows that too. So to be able to upload that and then get this output instantaneously, it's huge.
Yeah.
Now, it is only part of the battle. I mean, there are some companies who do this, but all of this information needs to go somewhere, right? It needs to end up in a work product. Or in work product. And that can take some time, because even though we've cut out a ton of time, we've come in and said, okay, all the data that you need is extracted and in this field, it's summarized. Now we maybe have to go in and copy and paste this into a demand letter or into some other type of format, which is going to take several more minutes, or in some cases hours, to kind of really give you this end result. That's where Filevine's different. We actually have tools to help you close the loop and to help you finish here. So I'm going to show a few different things. Some people on the call may already use Filevine standard DocGen or Report Fusion. Some of you may be using documents like this, where you just have kind of like a, hey, here's a prompt to my paralegal. Type out, the liability section, insert a picture here. You may have something like this, or like, again, standard DocGen or Report Fusion that you're already using today. With Filevine, you can actually put this into a tool called Filevine Document Assembly. And we'll show you kind of how these prompts are made. It looks like we have a few questions here.
I think we're going to get to questions a little bit later, but we're definitely keeping track of those. So thanks.
Okay, great. That's perfect. Well, then let's talk about FVDA and the demand process and how to complete this cycle. So FVDA, or Filevine Document Assembly, is a tool that's specific to Filevine. Nobody else has it. And it has a few features or functionality points that I'd like to talk through here in a moment. But as we're talking about demands, I have, all these different fields, and now I need to write this demand. And what I can do is actually use a more generative AI to generate a narrative or a paragraph for me based on the contents of those fields. Right. So I took the medical records or the police reports, I uploaded them into a field, I got an extraction that gave me a lot of great data. And now I'm going to use that data or that extraction to generate something like this that will say, hey, on this date, this is what happened. And it's actually going to give me, what I need. And this can happen section by section. So I have all these different kind of sections here. I could go through and have these templated to run all at one time. So I click a button and it fills out kind of a demand, and then I go in and make changes and edits as needed. Or I could go through as you've seen, and kind of just click each section as I go and watch it kind of compose each area that I'd like it to compose. A few other things about FBDA that's unique, or Filevine document assembly that's unique, is that if I do need to make changes, I can come in here and make changes to this section, and the document's not locked. Nikki could be in another part of the document on page 2 or on the second paragraph working through something else, and it's only locking one section at a time. I also have full versioning on every single paragraph. So if I wanted to see previous versions of this document that have been edited, I'll go ahead and save this and show you what I mean here. If I wanted to see kind of different versions, oh, just took away my rights there. I'd be able to go through and see on a paragraph by paragraph basis, maybe the changes that have been made. So if I changed something 6 versions ago, I'm not reverting the whole document. I'm reverting this one paragraph to a previous version to be able to do what I need to do. So that's one of the things also that's really unique about FBDA. It's also live in the fact that I can share it with outside parties, and I can decide what level of permission they have to use this document. They don't have to be a Filevine user. They don't have to have document assembly. I could literally just make them a viewer, a proposer, an editor, an owner of this document, send them a link, and then collaborate with them so that, you know, maybe I have forced red lines. Maybe I just want them to see it. And I can do that all within this tool. I can also have workflows set up so that as a document is kind of being processed through the firm or worked on, there's different kind of checkpoints. There's different things that happen. This is totally independent of a standard workflow. This is a workflow specifically for this document. So maybe I always want a partner to approve a demand before it goes out. Well, I can't even get to that stage until the review has been completed. And I can set that up kind of, you know, unique to this particular type of document. One of the last things I'll cover is just being able to insert different items into this document that are important or relevant to me. If I need to add a special section, I can come in and say, you know, I need to add a legal argument here. And if you all have kind of maybe a Word document that has your greatest hits or clauses that you've used in the past, this is something that would replace that. So I could go through, I could see the different kind of arguments that I've used in the past, and then I can go ahead and put those into this document kind of on a one-off basis. So that is FBDA. Now it's going to speed up the demands process and get you there a lot quicker. If this does look like still, hey, we don't want to come in and make these changes and edit these things, VineSkills also has a team that can do this for you, that can actually do demands as a service using some of the tools that we've talked about today.
So this is a huge game changer. It takes AI to the next level, speeding up that whole concept of less, more for less, speeding up the whole demand process and really bringing it to your fingertips and being able to just make those edits in line right inside of Filevine. It's really great feature.
Yep, absolutely. That is what I had in mind of terms of demoing. This is, again, like Nikki just mentioned, it's saving hours of time. As far as the pricing goes, a couple of things to mention. This is a cost of litigation. It's in the best interest of your clients. And in most cases, this cost can actually be passed on to your clients. It's less costly than writing a regular demand because it saves so much time. It is based on volume. So you can definitely call me or message me to get your account manager's information if you don't have it, or feel free to reach out to them directly to get kind of more information about the pricing model. Yeah, that's the demo portion.
That was great. Thanks, Kelsey.
Yeah.
So from here, we're going to turn it over to Kendall, and Kendall's going to talk about implementation.
Yes, I would love to. So I'm going to share my screen. So at VineSkills, we do offer implementing Projects AI plus FEDA. So if this is something you're interested, because it's the coolest process you've ever heard of, definitely reach out to VineSkills because we would love to help you guys. So on our pricing page here, you can see that, like I said, we do offer it. Our services are $2,500. Basically, you get training, you get some templates to go through, excuse me, and our team gets super excited to go through it with you. Our team at VineSkills really loves this, idea of AI. Filevine's AI is super safe and such a great process to have for your firm. And at VineSkills, we would love to help you with it. So that's our implementation. And please definitely reach out to us if you have any questions about that. We would definitely love to chat about it.
Awesome. I think we're ready to handle some questions if we want to tackle those.
There is a question here, Kelsey, that for you. I think you can probably answer to that more. Excuse me.
Okay, we'll just read it to the group. I'm assuming it's one of the open ones. It would be helpful to be able to use Filevine with regard to fields in Filevine instead of just document uploads. Is that something that's on the roadmap? For example, using case summary based off our intake tab would be helpful. I don't know the answer to that right now. We are very open to feedback, and we love thinking of new ways or hearing of new creative ways to use AI. Definitely follow up with your account manager on that question. And if it's not already on our roadmap, our product team would love to hear about it and would love to talk through the use case with you. Okay. What if there is duplicate records or man-made mistakes in the medical records? Will it recognize that there is an issue? That's a great question. There are a lot of ways to understand kind of inconsistencies and things like that. Kendall somewhat answered this in another question. We have a list of types of analysis we can do. And I'm hoping I'm understanding the question correctly. At this time, there's not one for medical record inconsistencies, but we do have prompts for creating inconsistencies in two different types of documents. So for example, I upload one here, and then it spits out any kind of inconsistencies between the two. That's functionality that already exists today.
Great.
I'm hoping that helps answer that question for whoever had it there. And then I think that some of the questions already answered online were really great. Kendall, if you want to go through and just kind of share the Q&A, that would be.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just start with this one. So is there a cost associated with the AIDoc review tool? So basically, to answer that, if you get Projects AI under Projects AI, so it's like an umbrella, that means you have access to AIDoc review, AIFields, and SidebarAI. Would it be, we answered that one live here. Oh yeah, so can you upload multiple medical records or combine them and get a synopsis? So Kelsey, would you actually mind sharing your screen again?
Let me get back to a project that I can share from. Sorry,
Perfect.
I closed it out.
You're totally fine. So with regard to that, on the back end, you're going to want to build out your AIFields to be connected to a multiple file attachment field, because what you can do is you'll upload those medical records, and assuming later on you'll get updated medical records, right? We want to upload those. So then in our medical section, thank you. Perfect. And where that field is, yep. So right here. So when you get like updated records later down the line, what you can do is you would just upload them. So you would upload your original ones. Later down the line, you get more. You would upload those other ones. And then if you can scroll down for me a little bit, you'll see right here, it says AI analysis start, and it'll show you the document it's pulling from. So when you do upload those updated records, there'll be an additional, so at the end of this one, it says end. So can you scroll down to the end? Perfect. Yep. So you see right there, analysis end, analysis start. So it'll show you exactly the document that it started that analysis. And then that second document, it'll show you this a start and end to that one as well. Just a few more questions here.
Do you want me to leave this open in case there's anything else you want to show?
Yes, if you would not mind.
So there's a question about FBDA being turned on inside of Filevine. So it's currently integrating with Vine Skills, but this hasn't been discussed. So I guess my question there for the anonymous person who submitted that would be, if you purchased Projects AI with FEDA, that's something that we'll talk to you about when we get closer to your template completion, because it will be incorporated as a section, just as Kelsey showed here on the demo, where where's that section, Kelsey, that we were looking at? Was it the drafting AI right here? Yeah. So it will be a section that looks like that, and it will be targeted toward demands. So we'll definitely work with you and talk to you more about that.
This is also just kind of a shameless plug for FEDA in general. I think that it can work so well for any kind of complex document. So if you're doing standard doc gens right now, or even a report fusion for a document that's maybe pulling from a few different sections over here, or it's kind of a more robust document, I would definitely consult with your Vine Skills implementer to see if FBDA could be a good replacement for that tool, and if you could start using that kind of across the board, because it's not just for demands, although it does work really well here. You can actually use this for several different, types of documents as well.
Very true. Very true.
For sure. There's another question that came in. How do we extract the information from medical record summary into a usable, shareable form like a Word doc? Yeah, so a few things there. I've seen some firms get kind of creative. So Kelsey, would you mind going to that medical section again?
Not at all.
So you can see here, the prompt analysis is in a text box. So you can edit within here. So I've seen, I've worked with a lot of firms who use this AI feature. Some firms, they prefer to kind of make some notes within here. I've had some firms just generate it as a report. I personally, like Tammy, like what you're saying, I would just go with an old school copy paste method, and just put it in a Word doc if you want to do something with it. And then you can edit that within Filevine.
And I'll also just mention here, this is, you may have this type of data that's being pulled out kind of programmatically or systematically. But if you did want to come in and do a one-off doc review of a police report or a deposition or a medical record, I already have this example here, but it's actually going to give me an output in a Word or PDF document. So in this one, I actually came in and said, hey, I could have said, this is a medical record, and this is what I want to do with it, because it won't give me very good results, but I can say, again, this is a deposition and I'd like you to summarize or, do these things. And I'll actually get to decide, hey, all of this information, I want it to come to me in a PDF, or I want it to come in a Word document. That'll be a little bit easier, no need to copy and paste. And then I will get an output that looks, similar to this.
Yeah, so something else I like to highlight too with the difference between kind of AIFields and AIDoc review. AIFields are built in your template on the back end. So essentially every time you upload those medical records, it's going to run that analysis. Every time you upload that police report, it's going to run that analysis. So the difference between that and AIDoc review, that's going to be, you're going to go to AIDoc review for, like Kelsey was saying, just specific documents that you want to run. So if you don't want the police report to run every single time, you're not going to have an AI field. You're going to want to run it through AIDoc review. And also, each person on the team kind of has the ability to utilize this, this feature as well. Because like you saw Kelsey show, when you see the sparkles, that's good news. That means that the document OCR'd, and then you can run that AI. So just different use cases as how you can use the AI. But also be mindful as well that the AIDoc review and AIFields, they have the same exact analysis types. So they're not different, it's just different how they're used.
A great point. All right, we have another question. Any plans to expand sidebar to other sections of a Filevine project? You know, that would be a great question for your account manager. Already, the sidebar is doing even more than what I've shown today that can be really useful and helpful, where I can come in and write a question on, how can I run a report to see how many faxes are sent in a month? I could go look at the support center and do this. I could find this data in a number of different ways. And unfortunately, I'm not an admin on this one. I just did it on my buddy's computer yesterday and it was able to show it. But I can use Sidebar in ways that, talk to it like a human and actually get it to give me back a response of like, hey, this is what we're doing. So I imagine that it will expand beyond what we've shown today and beyond what we're doing today. But that would be a great question for your account manager.
Yeah, and SidebarAI, I've seen also asking questions as if you were going to the support articles. It will provide feedback to you in that way. So I know Kelsey asked about faxes, but maybe you're asking, how do I run a report to show open tasks or something like that. So it will give you some prompts on how to standardize reporting or how to find vitals, how to do basic things that any support article in Filevine will provide you.
I was typing this out, but I think I'm just going to answer it. So somebody asked, would this work on scanned documents, like badly scanned documents? Great question. So we all know doctors have the worst handwriting ever, and sometimes we have horribly scanned documents. And the answer is yes. As long as the document is OCR'd, the AI analysis can run. So this is also a great example of when human eyes are super necessary. So the AI is going to read it as best as it can because it's OCR'd. But definitely with these ugly scanned documents and horribly handwritten documents, you want to make sure that there is a human that's going over and just double checking the AI's prompt result.
And Catherine has a question about if I had a 3,000 page PDF filled with medical records, would the AI handle summarizing the dates and other info we stipulate to a Word document? The volume, I don't know, but I know as long as the document is OCR'd, you will get a return for that medical record. I haven't tried a 3,000 page document. So Kelsey, I don't know if you know, but I haven't tried one that large yet.
Yeah, I know that with PDFs in general, it's recommended, whether it's in Filevine or any other system, to kind of use 500 pages at a time. That's going to be the most accurate. I don't know if we've already released this or if it's something we're working on. So forgive me if I'm not supposed to say this to anybody from Filevine listening, but I do know that there's going to be a solution that it'll actually kind of separate those documents for you on the back end. You won't see it. So you'll be able to work with documents that are much larger instead of splitting themselves or splitting them up yourselves into these like 500 page increments.
Mm-hmm.
It'll actually do that on the back end and then put it back together for you. So you'll be able to do large ones.
Oh, that's great.
And to piggyback off that, to essentially answer that, it can summarize by dates. So I'm actually going to take the screen. So on Filevine's support page, I always refer to this. So you can see here is a list of all the analysis types. So here's basically the document that you upload, and then this is the analysis. So when Filevine first released AIFields, I feel like some of these analyses weren't here. For example, this trust and will one, when they first released it, I didn't see these, but Filevine really takes your feedback, and I know that they do work to kind of expand these. So to your question about the summarizing per date, you can see here medical records. I think there's 11 analysis types that you can run. So a MedCron would be a really good example. Detail by treatment date. That's probably the AI field or the AIDoc review prompt that you'd want to use.
That's great. Oh.
I love this. I always refer back to it.
Awesome. So it looks like questions have slowed down a little bit. Okay. Well, anything else that we want to wrap up with before we close out?
I love this. I could talk about Filevine's AI till the end of time, honestly. So if you do reach out to Vine Skills, please definitely ask your AI questions because we would love to help. And I was actually a former paralegal. And let me just say, if I had this in my firm, my life would have been so much easier because I handled all the records, all the demand prep. So even just the fields for medical records and depositions and demands. And like Kelsey was saying with the DemandsAI, we have literally a specific team for that on our Vine Skills team. So it can help you in every way, shape, and form, even if it's just questioned about it. So reach out.
AI is definitely changing the landscape.
Yeah, I agree. And the one last thing I'll mention is that today we showed you kind of a high level overview of some of the things. This is a lot to talk about in a very short period of time. I'm sure you do have more questions or things you'd like to see in more detail. Please reach out to your account managers, set up a demo, talk through what it could look like for your organization. We also were talking about medical records, police reports. This is available for all different types of documents. So if you have other practice areas or things that you'd like to kind of evaluate or assess, reach out to us. Would love to talk through it a little bit more.
That's another great point too. One, if you don't know who your account manager is, feel free to reach out to either our Vine Skills team or Filevine, because we can absolutely help with that, even just that simple step. And then two, I get the question a lot, are AIFields just for PI firms? No way. No way at all. Because I've had a few criminal firms use it. I've had just a few different firms utilize it to their, how they need to use it. So just because you might not track medical records, well, you still might have, depositions. There's great ones for depositions, that kind of stuff. Transcripts, exactly. And like I said, Filevine really appreciates feedback on this. So keep pushing your feedback on the, analyses types that you want to see. Because, if you want to see expanded, like I said, trust in wills wasn't there before and now it is. So reach out and give feedback.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And we really hope you learned a lot about AI. As Kelsey said, there's so much more to learn. So this is just like the surface level of what we talked about here today. And if you're ready to get started with optimizing your Filevine, we're here to help. Kelsey's here to help. And two things I wanted to highlight before we kind of wrap up. We do offer some free resources. So we're offering free template audits to take a look at your Filevine, kind of get under the hood. We highlight some great uses of Filevine, areas for improvement. We also have free Help Wednesday every Wednesday. So those cover a variety of topics. And we have flexible support plans. So we have hourly plans, monthly plans, we do full-time staffing. So check out our website. We have lots of information there, a lot of great videos, and it was great having everybody. So thanks for joining. And thank you, Kelsey and Kendall. Appreciate your time. It was great.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.